good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. We are still here in Roxborough, and this morning, what I say, tell them we ain't afraid to war because they are celebrating the Belmanna Riots here in Roxborough, courtesy the Roxborough Police Youth Club. And this morning, I have the privilege to stand here with ACP Collis Hazel, who is the coordinator of this event. And you know, it's being said that Roxborough is now rivaling Charlottesville for that street procession. Talk to us a bit about that.
Okay, so what we want to say is that we come out to war.
Right.
We come out to war. We tell them we ain't afraid nobody. We come out to war. This is Belmanna. This is Roxborough. And of course, those of you who are heading your way to Roxborough at this point and come through wedding and willing and able to host you today. We start at the Cameron Canal Road, so you can take a park in the Renaissance or in the Roxborough complex or at the Roxborough Secondary School. There's parking facility there to accommodate everybody. The police would be on hand today in order to guide you, in order to make sure that there is safety as we traverse in this street theater production of Roxborough.
Right. And, you know, tell us a bit experience. To tell us a bit about that. Tell us about how it's basically reliving that event.
I want to, first of all, while I tell you about that, I want to tell you that I want to pay some compliments to Mr. Gilbert O'Connor, who happened to be the chairman of the Festivals Commission, who felt that while we were doing Belmanna for years on stage, he saw Belmanna can happen as a street theater because there's all the relics, there's all the buildings, the Asian buildings. If you look back, there is the show, the Copra House, we have the Tuck House, we have the 100 Windows up on the hill, and we are on the plantation. The plantation, which way back in the 1st of May in 1976, where we had the situation where we had the revolt. As you are well aware, Roxborough had one of the largest sugar estates. And on that estate is where the workers would have revolted against the white plantation owners. The history behind this is that based on the revolution that happened, it happened because of a disgruntled set of workers who, after emancipation, they were brought to assist in ensuring that the labor on the estate was replenished. And of course, these laborers came from Barbados. These Bajans were promised all things to come here to work on the sugar estate. So they would promise better working condition, better wages, better medical care, and the host accommodations and the like. However, when they got on this estate, that did not happen, we were told. And as a result of that, they revolted. They revolt the idea of poor working conditions. We were reminded the fact that it was just like a situation where they came here to work for the white plantation owner. So Massa House on top of 100 Windows up to the back there, and they were working the plantation, all these sugar estate. But what really happened is that they were actually, all the wages, everything was going to Massa. This tuck shop was designed in such a way in which all the wage, whatever they worked for, would have been going back to the tuck shop. It replicates the canteen that we have in Trinidad and Tobago in the military. And as a result of that, these workers did not have it. Mary Jane, better known as Tipigi, was the person who initiated and was able to mobilize the laborers on the estate in order to bring them up and incite them that along the street, and of course, much to the displeasure, the white plantation owners had the benefit of having the police who was on top of the hill, led by another Bajan, Corporal Belmanna.
Right. And even as we are seeing this being relived, some persons said that the experience was somewhat of a reincarnation when they saw the actors, you know, in full regalia. And today, even as they are through the streets and they are going to do that march once again, what are some of the lessons from the past that are still relevant to today's society as we continue to move forward?
I think what is important for us as we move forward and we look, we have to think about empowering others. We have to think about, and this is why you have entrepreneurship taking place. Instead of us just thinking about, okay, I am out there to work for someone. What about working for yourself? What about doing something that empower you to earn a living rather than just the dependency syndrome of looking for handouts, looking to work for someone else? You can become an entrepreneur. You can become one who earn your living instead of having to work for other persons. And I think this is interesting for us to understand that the treatment that is meted out to people while you're working for others, why not work for yourself and earn the wages?
Right. And even as we wrap up this morning, remind the people about the logistics. So even as they come up, what time are we starting? Some of the parking areas, you indicated that there's parking at the Renaissance, there's parking at the Roxborough complex, and there's parking at the Roxborough Secondary School. What time are we starting? We're gathering.
So we are gathering at 10 o'clock at the junction of the waterfall that is on Cameron Canal Road. We are going to take off there at 11 o'clock and we are going to hit the streets, going through all the paces, and that is going to take us coming back on the estate, on the sugar plantation, doing all the act, look at the burning of the sugar estate, and then we move up, looking at the workers on the plantation. They also have an opportunity. We have a live museum from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service for the first time, bringing their museum to Tobago so that we can see all that would have been in the old Roxborough Police Station. So it is interesting for you to come out and see a diary from way back when and the entries that were made in that diary as it relates to Belmanna. It is very, very important in terms of these historical artifacts that we are able to preserve, and we are bringing Roxborough life. So parking, as we mentioned, there's going to be an interruption in the traffic flows, because when the procession hits on the Bloody Bay Road, persons will have the Windward Main Road to have access. However, when the procession comes down on the old police station road, there's going to be a diversion of traffic on old police station road and through the continuation of the Bloody Bay Road and take you down to Argyle, and you will have that opportunity, free movement along the courthouse where the trial is going to take place in the courtyard. And of course, the stage is set there already. The courthouse is waiting in order to receive Sammy Small and of course to hear the trial of the trial judge in the case.
Excellent. We want to thank you so much, and we are hoping, you know, nothing but the best and safety for this entire procession today. And finally, as we wrap up today, where are we going to see the Roxborough Police Youth Club taking this Belmanna riot as it grows?
I think what we would want to do on our own after doing it as a heritage, we would want to be able to ensure that on May the 1st, which is symbolically the day that while we are celebrating May Day in Trinidad, the labor unions throughout Tobago and Trinidad come on the Roxborough estate, because we believe that while you are celebrating Buzz Butler in Trinidad, way before Bud Butler, you had a situation right here on the estate in Roxborough that ignites the workers in this riot that saw the birth, so the real birth I want to tell the president of the labor movement in Trinidad, the real birth is not Buzz Butler, it is Belmanna Riots. And therefore on May Day, which is the first day, we want to see this celebration take place here in Roxborough so that people will have an understanding that Roxborough, as a people of resilience, as a people of bold and brave, are able to stand, as you well know. Take our representative, Mr. Watson Duke. Come on. We have the bold, brave persons within our community who have represented us in Belmanna, in living in Roxborough. And let me tell you something. Tell them we ain't afraid nobody. We come out to war. We go out to war. We come out to war. We come out to war. Tell them we ain't afraid nobody. Tell them we ain't afraid nobody. Anna.
This morning at 10 a.m. If you miss it, then you basically miss the entire Tobago Heritage Festival, because this is the culmination right here. This is the big one. This is the Belmanna Riots that's happening at Roxborough. And it's right outside of that Argyle Waterfall Road there. As soon as you get into the entry, that's where they're going to be gathering. And you don't want to miss it. Remember, there's parking all over. Come up, don't be late. Bring a friend, bring your family. This is the place to be this morning, guys. Again, I am Shenell Felix, and this is Tobago Updates. As a matter of fact, this is Good Morning Tobago. And we want to thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. Thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am your host, Shenell Felix, and have a great day.